Chrisean Rock didn't just go quiet, she vanished. And the internet is acting like someone unplugged the entire reality TV universe. One day she's everywhere, yelling, laughing, live streaming chaos like it's a sport. And the next day, silence. No posts. No sightings. No messy lives. Nothing but a digital void that sent fans into panic mode and sent her hidden enemies sprinting out of the shadows like roaches when the kitchen light turns on. And trust me, they came crawling with stories that make the Kardashians look like a stable family from a toothpaste commercial. The moment people realized Chrisean had disappeared, the theories started flying faster than Blueface dodging child support. Was she hiding? Was she plotting? Was she running? Was she done with everyone? Nobody knew, but everybody acted like they did. And then, right when the internet was spiraling into detective mode, certain enemies finally broke their silence. And the things they claimed were so wild, so dramatic, and so unbelievable that even Hollywood producers would have said, "Tone it down, that's too much." Because when Chrisean goes missing, her haters don't get quiet, they get loud. And what they revealed, it's the kind of chaos you can't scroll past. Buckle up. This story isn't just messy, it's a full-blown earthquake. The moment people realized Chrisean Rock had vanished, the internet devolved into pure madness. One minute she was posting daily chaos like it was a part-time job, and the next minute, radio silence. For someone as publicly unpredictable as Chrisean, disappearing wasn't just suspicious, it was unheard of. Fans started refreshing her page like it was the stock market crashing. People acted like she was required by law to cause trouble every 24 hours. And her sudden absence felt like the timeline had lost its fuel source before anyone could calm down. The rumor mill kicked into overdrive. Some said Chrisean went off the grid because she was tired of drama. Others claimed she was hiding from a new scandal. A few trolls insisted she was finally taking a self-care retreat, which made everyone laugh because Chrisean doing a peaceful retreat sounds like a deleted scene from a comedy movie. The internet wasn't just confused, it was panicking, theorizing, and running in digital circles. Then it got worse. Because the second Chrisean disappeared, her hidden enemies crawled out like they'd been rehearsing for this moment. People who usually stay quiet suddenly had the loudest opinions. Old rivals resurfaced with shady posts. Ex-friends hinted at knowing the real story. Even random influencers who had barely interacted with her suddenly talked like they were part of her inner circle. The internet turned into a messy courtroom, and everyone wanted to testify. The first enemy to break their silence fired shots without hesitation. They claimed Chrisean was avoiding accountability, even though nobody knew accountability for what. The accusations set the internet ablaze. Fans screamed. Haters cheered. Neutral people grabbed popcorn. Comment sections exploded with arguments longer than college essays. People didn't just want answers, they wanted drama, and they didn't care who delivered it. Meanwhile, Blueface's followers insisted he had something to do with her disappearance. Because in their minds, he's the villain in every storyline, whether he's involved or not. They said he pushed her away. They said he scared her into silence. They said he leaked something horrible. Absolutely zero evidence. But when Chrisean vanishes, the internet turns Blueface into the final boss of chaos automatically. His name trended within minutes. Chrisean's real supporters weren't buying any of it. They said she deserved a break. They said she was probably resting. They said the haters were obsessed. But even they couldn't deny something felt off. Chrisean doesn't rest. She doesn't log off. She doesn't take breaks. She loves the spotlight the way some people love morning coffee, desperately and repeatedly. So when she ghosted the entire world, everyone felt the shift. Then screenshots dropped, vague, blurry, and suspiciously timed. The kind of screenshots that could have come from a Pixel 1 camera in a dark basement. But the internet treated them like FBI files. The screenshots suggested Chrisean had been arguing with someone behind the scenes right before she vanished. No names, no context. Just anger emojis and half a sentence. The mystery only deepened. and fans spiraled into conspiracy mode. The next enemy came out swinging harder than the first. They claimed Chrisean had been exposed privately. What does that even mean? Nobody knew, but it sounded dramatic enough to go viral instantly. The internet doesn't need clarity, it needs chaos. Commentators built entire storylines from that one phrase alone. Some said someone had blackmail. Others said someone confronted her. Trolls crafted entire novels depicting Chrisean fleeing the city like an action hero escaping a villain. As the noise grew louder, bloggers published clickbait articles with titles like, "Where's Chrisean Rock?" and "Chrisean's disappearance raises questions." They posted dramatic photos of her looking confused or emotional, even though those pictures were probably from a year ago. Reddit threads erupted with theories that looked like full investigative reports. People connected dots that weren't even dots. They invented dots. Then came the close friend rumor. The claim that someone in Chrisean's inner circle knew exactly why she vanished. Fans lost their minds. They begged for details, proof, receipts, anything. But like all shady sources, this so-called friend spoke in cryptic clues instead of actual information. They said things like she needed distance and the truth will come out soon, which only made the internet more hysterical. Blueface couldn't resist and added his own messy commentary. He made shady posts with no names but very clear targets. His vague complaining only fueled the fire, making people think he was directly involved. Every time he tweeted, it added 10 layers of dramatic smoke to the situation. Fans dragged him. Haters clapped. Trolls celebrated. His involvement turned the scandal into a full circus. As more enemies spoke out, the tone got darker. One accused Chrisean of running from the consequences. Another hinted that she had betrayed the wrong person. A third said her disappearance was expected. These vague accusations had no proof, no context, and no explanations, but they were juicy enough to dominate the timeline. The internet fed on them like they were fresh meat. Chrisean's silence was the loudest scream in the room. Her disappearance made everything feel 10 times heavier, 10 times messier, and 10 times more mysterious. The longer she said nothing, the more her enemies talked. And the more they talked, the worse the claims became. Fans started worrying. Enemies started celebrating. Everyone else started spiraling into speculation. This wasn't just a missing person panic. This was a digital battlefield, and Chrisean's absence left a power vacuum and her enemies. They were ready to fill it because when a superstar disappears, the snakes come crawling out, and trust me, there was still much more venom to spill. The hunt for Chrisean Rock didn't cool off. It turned into a full-blown internet crime scene, complete with fan detectives, fake psychics, and gossip pages acting like the FBI. Every hour added a new twist, a new rumor, a new enemy, or a new meltdown. The storyline had more layers than a wedding cake, and the internet carved through each one with reckless enthusiasm. People weren't just following the story, they were living inside it, refreshing feeds like they were waiting for a lottery number to drop. The first major twist came when a mysterious voice note leaked a shaky, low-quality recording of someone claiming Chrisean had crossed a line. Nobody recognized the voice. Nobody knew if it was real. But the drama-hungry internet didn't care. People jumped straight into hysteria, declaring it a confession. TikTok editors added ominous music, red filters, and zoom-ins to make it feel like an episode of a supernatural horror series. The leak had no details, but the suspense was enough to send people spiraling. Then celebrity pages jumped in. And that's when everything started snowballing. A popular gossip page posted, "Sources claim Chrisean's disappearance is connected to private beef." They offered 0 sources, 0 proof, and 0 facts, and yet fans treated it like a historical document. Other pages piled on, posting dramatic posts like "the truth is coming" and "the streets are talking." It felt like every account was fighting for the most mysterious-sounding caption. Suddenly, celebrities began posting cryptic messages that fans interpreted as connected to Chrisean. Cardi B allegedly posted a quote about Snakes always showing themselves. Summer. Walker posted something about being tired of fake love. Even Sis shared a vague emotional line that fans twisted into a secret warning. None of these posts referenced Chrisean, but in the chaos-filled environment, context was irrelevant. Everything was a clue. Everyone was a suspect. The memes, meanwhile, reached legendary levels of stupidity. People edited Chrisean into detective movies, implying she was hiding underground with conspiracy theorists. Others made jokes comparing her disappearance to people avoiding responsibilities. Some created fake movie posters with titles like Gone Girl, Chrisean Edition, and Where in the World is Rock-a-san? The jokes were relentless, unhinged, and dangerously funny. The internet doesn't let tragedy exist without memes. It's part of the culture. But the tension escalated. When Taseki posted a vague message about learning, who's real when things go dark? The internet exploded instantly. Fans started accusing her of trying to manipulate the situation. Others said she was worried. Trolls claimed she was sending direct shots at Lil Mabu, Tamar Braxton, Blueface, or anyone else in Chrisean's orbit. Her post was just a sentence, but it launched 50 conspiracy theories in 10 minutes, and then Blueface added fuel to the already raging fire. He posted a shady comment about people disappearing when the lies catch up, which fans instantly interpreted as a direct attack. The reaction was nuclear. People dragged him from every angle, saying he was responsible, guilty, manipulative, or just messy. The internet doesn't give Blueface the benefit of the doubt. He's their favorite villain, whether he wants the role or not. A new leak hit next. A supposed screenshot of someone claiming Chrisean had been warned about something before she went missing. Again, no context. Again, the internet didn't care. Theories exploded faster than fireworks. Some said it was Blueface's mom, Carlissa, stirring the pot. Others said it was someone from the Zeus network. A few trolls claimed Beyoncé was involved just to see how far the rumor would go. It went far. Carlissa, of course, took the opportunity to go live and drop her own bombshells. She claimed she knew this would happen and made dramatic faces while fans begged her for details. She didn't confirm anything, but she didn't deny anything either, which made her the perfect fire starter. Her vague monologues ignited a fresh wave of confusion. People clipped her sentences, slowed them down, analyzed them, and created entire story arcs from her side eyes. The next twist came from someone nobody expected. A former friend of Chrisean who hadn't spoken publicly in months. They jumped online, claiming Chrisean had been dealing with shady people and dangerous vibes. They didn't name names, but they didn't have to. The internet filled in the blanks with every enemy Chrisean had ever interacted with. Their comments turned into headlines across gossip pages, each one more exaggerated than the last dot. Then TikTok detectives entered the chat. They dissected Chrisean's last posts like archaeologists studying ancient hieroglyphics. They zoomed into background walls, analyzed shadows, counted timestamps, and built theories out of microscopic details. One TikToker swore they saw a mystery figure behind her in a 2-week-old video. Another claimed the tone of her laugh sounded troubled. It was chaos disguised as investigation. Influencers jumped in next, some pretending to care while obviously using the situation for clout. One claimed they had inside information but refused to share it. Another said they had a weird feeling this was coming. A few just posted prayer emojis, like they were participating in a community ritual. Watching them scramble for relevance was almost as entertaining as the actual scandal. But the darkest twist came when one of Chrisean's oldest enemies dropped a long paragraph insinuating Chrisean wasn't ready for the truth to come out. They didn't specify the truth. They didn't explain anything. But because the internet was already in meltdown mode, the comment hit like a meteor. Fans panicked. Trolls celebrated. Conspiracy theorists treated the post like a prophecy. By this point, people weren't wondering where Chrisean was anymore. They were wondering what kind of war she had been fighting behind the scenes. Was she hiding from someone? Was she planning something? Was she betrayed? Was she hurt? Or was she simply tired of the circus? Nobody had answers. Everyone had theories. And as the chaos reached its peak, a subtle shift happened, a sense that something bigger was bubbling beneath the surface, something nobody was ready for, something that could flip the entire storyline upside down. The aftermath of Chrisean Rock's disappearance didn't feel like the end of a story. It felt like the beginning of a storm pulling everyone into its center. By the time the chaos reached peak intensity, the internet was exhausted, paranoid, and emotionally invested to a degree that made no logical sense. Every platform felt like a war zone. Every comment section looked like a battlefield. Everyone involved, fans, enemies, bloggers, trolls, felt shaken by the silence Chrisean left behind. Then something strange happened. People who once clowned her suddenly grew worried. The jokes faded. The trolling slowed down. Even the enemies who had been celebrating her disappearance started sounding nervous. It's one thing to trash someone online, but when that person actually vanishes from the spotlight, it forces everyone to confront the weight of their own noise. Questions got heavier. Tones shifted. People started asking, is she okay? Instead of what did she do now? The emotional flip was dramatic, unexpected, and strangely human. For once, even Blueface seemed out of his depth. His messy comments slowed down. His typical trolling energy disappeared. Some thought he felt guilty. Others thought he knew more than he let on. A few insisted he was panicking because the storyline was no longer in his control. Blueface thrives when the chaos is visible, predictable, and entertaining. But when things get quiet, dangerously quiet, even he starts cracking around the edges. And then came the breaking point. A rumored sighting of Chrisean. Someone posted a blurry picture claiming they saw her at a gas station. Another said they saw her sitting alone in a car. A third swore she passed by them in a hoodie with her head down. None of the sightings were verified. All of them caused complete meltdown. People debated angles, timestamps, outfits, shadows, like the internet's version of a national security threat. These fake sightings didn't clarify anything, but they reignited the panic and pushed the mystery into overdrive. Chrisean's enemies used the confusion to double down. One claimed she was avoiding consequences. Another said she was running from people she hurt. A third hinted she knew the truth was coming. Their words had no proof, but they carried poison. The more vague they were, the darker the theories got. The internet began imagining betrayals, scandals, secret fights, backdoor deals, everything except the possibility that Chrisean simply needed space. Meanwhile, fans dug up old clips of Chrisean crying, laughing, breaking down, dancing, fighting any moment that might offer clues to her mental state. They created emotional montages begging her to return. Others posted angry rants demanding she speak up. The fan base split into emotional extremes. One side worried, one side frustrated, one side accusing people of exploiting her disappearance for clout. It turned into a messy, emotional tug-of-war. Unexpected voices joined the conversation next. People who had stayed silent for months. An old collaborator wrote a long post about missing energy. A former friend said Chrisean had been carrying too much weight. Another person from the industry said she had been moving differently lately. Messages didn't give details, but they painted a picture of someone overwhelmed, surrounded by noise, and struggling with more than the internet ever saw. Carlisa added another layer of chaos by posting a dramatic warning about truths surfacing. She hinted she knew things nobody else did. She claimed the silence meant someone was protecting the wrong people. Her choice of words made the internet spin like a tornado. Fans begged her for specifics. Trolls mocked her. Critics said she was making things worse. But one thing was undeniable: her involvement made the situation feel darker. Then, at the height of confusion, a major shift happened. Chrisean's inner circle finally broke their silence. Not with explanations, but with emotional messages hinting at stress, betrayal, and overwhelming pressure. They didn't address the disappearance directly, But their posts painted a heartbreaking picture. They spoke about people being pushed too far, needing to escape toxicity and protecting peace by any means necessary. These messages made fans realize the disappearance might not be dramatic. It might be personal. As the noise died down momentarily, bloggers rushed to fill the silence with their own narratives. Some claimed Chrisean was in hiding from drama. Others said she was preparing for a comeback. A few insisted she was dealing with behind-the-scenes battles the public would never understand. Every theory contradicted the next, but they all shared one theme. Chrisean was fighting something bigger than the internet knew. The next wave of tension came from a leaked conversation allegedly involving someone close to her. It hinted that Chrisean felt watched, targeted, and emotionally drained. The leak wasn't verified, but the tone felt raw. Fans panicked, saying she might be in danger. Critics used it to push narratives about karma. Trolls said it was fake. But the emotional tone hit deeper than anything else in the scandal by the final stretch of the chaos. Everything felt heavier, sadder, and more complicated. The disappearance wasn't just a rumor anymore. It became a symbol of the pressure that comes with fame, enemies, and constant public scrutiny. People who once mocked Chrisean suddenly understood how isolating the limelight can be. Enemies who once bragged about her downfall suddenly went quiet. Even Blueface's ego shrank under the weight of real concern. And that's when it happened. A brief flicker, a sign. An online breadcrumb. Chrisean reappeared. Not in a dramatic video, not in a rant, not in a meltdown. Just a tiny, quiet post that said almost nothing, but meant everything. An image without a caption. A glimpse of her face. A single moment of clarity proving she was alive, present, and watching all the noise. The internet erupted. Fans flooded her with love. Enemies panicked. Critics backpedaled. Bloggers rewrote. Critics backpedaled. Bloggers rewrote their articles, and trolls dissolved in confusion. She didn't explain anything. She didn't owe anyone an explanation. Her silence had already done more damage, revealed more truths, and exposed more enemies than any post ever could. Because sometimes disappearing isn't running. Sometimes it's reclaiming power. And for Chrisean, this was just the beginning of a whole new battle. And just like that, we've reached the end of one of the wildest disappearancer sagas the internet has seen in years. Chrisean Rock's silence shook the entire digital world, made her enemies panic, made her fans cry, and made every blogger within a 50-mile radius start posting like they were witnessing a historic event. She vanished, reappeared without a word, and somehow managed to expose more people by doing nothing than she ever did by speaking. That's power. Chaotic, unfiltered, unpredictable power. But before you run to the comments to argue, analyze, theorize, or accuse half the industry of being the hidden enemy, make sure you smash that like button like it owes you child support. Drop your theories, your craziest predictions, or what moment made your jaw hit the floor. If you think you cracked the real reason behind the disappearance, tell us. If you think this is just the beginning of a bigger storm, definitely tell us. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button like you're trying to break the algorithm. Turn on your notifications too, because around here the drama never sleeps. The scandals don't pause. The secrets don't stay buried. On Secret Scoop, we catch everything the second it drops. The rumors, the leaks, the meltdowns, the victories, the villains, and the comebacks. So stay ready. Stay alert. Stay messy, because if this saga proved anything, it's that Chrisean Rock's world is a ticking bomb. And the next explosion is already warming up behind the scenes. This is Secret Scoop, where the silence is loud. And the truth is louder.